G'day guys and gals, so today is Barrenland's Pyrite Gorge, which is Crown Slayer's map, and the daily contract is Strategic Dispatch, which disallows guards, casters, medics, and specialists. So you'll need to get your healing from other sources. To top out our 8 though, we're using Deep Infiltration 2, Hindrance 1, Last Line of Defense, and Anti-Mobility. First and foremost, I've been pressing this the whole time. Bring a mate's Angelina, because Angelina's going to be our operator of the day. She's got skill 3, fantastic, most do. We're going to want a reserve healer and a reserve vanguard. A single block that returns its deployment points. That's important. So I've got Plume, because I'm obviously bringing Vigna for something else. So, and Spot is replaceable with preferably Gummy, skill 1, or Saria, skill 2. Outside of that, we've got Myrtle with skill 1, Scavenger with skill 2. If you've got Texas with skill 2, bring her, that's fantastic. Placement is identical though, so don't stress too much about that. Shirayuki skill 2. Blue Poison skill 2, that's because she is the closest thing we're going to get to flat and proper AoE arts. Sora with skill 2, if you don't have Sora, just bring your best damage dealer, flat, straight out. Orchard with skill 1, if you've got Earth Spirit, fantastic, Earth Spirit skill 1. Courier with skill 2, because we'll be using him as a tank. Vigna with skill 2, or any high damage vanguard. Vanilla specifically over Fang because of her damage, and Iato because she's the best thing we're getting to a fast redeploy at the moment. Now, I've unceremoniously titled this Operation Toilet Block or Toilet Clog because it's sloppy, it's messy, and it's just a literal blockage you'll see once I get everything in place. It's very unceremonious. So first in, we're just going to wait for Vanilla. There she is. So inwards, just there. After that, we are going to deploy Scavenger. So Scavenger, Vanilla skill. And then we're going to deploy Myrtle facing backwards. And basically, as I think I mentioned it, Myrtle, the only reason we're bringing her is for her talent, which heals other vanguards. She's not even really there for deployment points. She helps, but she's not super essential in that respect. So we'll use her skill, and then we will pop in Blue. Use Scavenger skill when you can. And then we're going to pop in Courier, because otherwise we're going to have some leakage, and Angelina here. Vanilla skill. And I may need to deploy, no I won't. I'll deploy Orchard just here, facing inwards. So just keep an eye on health. That's the important thing. At this point in time, if you see things that are losing a lot of health, you may need to use, say, Myrtle with skill 2 to use her healing ability. If you've got leaks, stick to using Plume. But depending on how things go, you may not have a choice. So just try to watch leaks and be mindful of them. You should be okay, but yeah, no promises. But that's why we've got Plume, because at this point in time, we still need our deployment points. So we deploy Plume, she helps kill something, we yank her back out, that's it, we get the deployment points back. Yato, on the other hand, does not do that, so we kind of want to avoid using Yato at this point in time. So next in will be Sora. And now we have Crown Slayer coming up, so what we want to do is we want to use Angelina's skill as soon as she is in range, so about now looks good. And then we're going to use Yato to bait her first skip. So Yato facing up, so Yato can assist with damage. We'll use Courier's skill because we want him doing whatever we can. We'll use Myrtle's skill because we still need deployment points. We'll use Blue's skill because we want damage on Crown Slayer. And we're leaving Yato here just to try and get as much damage on Crown Slayer as we can. Crown Slayer's just topped out again, but will still be in range, or should still be in range of Angelina's skill. And will still be being blocked by our vanguards. So once this enemy dies here, we can pull Yato back out. Misclicked. Keep cycling those vanguard skills. And that's it. Crown Slayer's dead. If Crown Slayer does get away, odds are she will not have a lot of health left, and that's where we have Vigna. So at that point in time, what you do is you yank Scavenger out after this skill. So I'll just use the skill as an example. So you'd let that skill run, and then you'd yank out Scavenger, and you'd pop in Vigna just here. Vigna would be facing backwards. So that's all there is to it. Crown Slayer died, so I don't need to deploy Vigna now, that's it. So Shirayuki's going to be our next in just here, facing down. Because Crown Slayer's dead, Scavenger stays in, or Texas if you're using Texas. Oh, didn't want to pause. But that's it. That's really all there is to it. I can't say there's much more to it. You want to leave Myrtle in, so I don't want to take out Myrtle and replace her with somebody else, because she's what's primarily healing our vanguards. So at this point in time, we're saving skills because we need them for these wraiths. So the first two lots are not going to be too bad because they're just normal wraiths, so we'll use Vanilla's skill to help get those down. Now, it's important to note that if you do need to yank somebody, it's probably more beneficial to yank Vanilla. If you do need to yank somebody, but try to avoid it. Because Scavenger does a hell of a lot more damage, and especially if you're using Texas with skill 2, you are going to want that stun. So here's our first defense crusher. So we're going to use Courier's skill. Here come the Wraith leaders. So we're going to use Sora's skill, and we're going to use Blue's skill, and we're going to use Angelina's skill. Now, you'll notice that this defense crusher has come through. So because certain other vanguards, cough cough, are not as tanky as other vanguards, that's why we're using Angelina's skill. So if you're using Texas, Texas will survive that. Obviously Scavenger does not. Again, no drama, I'm not too fussed. What I'll do here, however, is I will deploy Vigna because I do still need damage in that center lane. So if you're using Scavenger and you haven't needed to redeploy, because obviously, as I said, at this point in time, Scavenger is going to be out and over here, or Vanilla is going to be out and over here. So you'll probably just do your best to sort of juggle whoever your best attackers are in case somebody in the center dies. So you probably would have pulled out, say, Vanilla to replace, and yeah, just juggle whoever your best attacker is, really. So here we got some more wraiths, so I'll just use Vanilla's skill, so if they get to Vanilla, she gives them a good whack. Try and time Courier's skill so it's right when that defense crusher hits, because we're going to have a second one coming out. And it's really important to note that that second Defense Crusher there, if you did not kill Crown Slayer, that second Defense Crusher is where Crown Slayer will come back out. So Crown Slayer will come out, run into Myrtle, skip onto Vigna, and you want to use Vigna's skill preemptively if possible. If push comes to shove and Crown Slayer has a lot of health, do your best to juggle in Yato or Plume on this last tile right before the exit, probably Plume. So here come our two Defense Crushers. As you see, I am likely going to lose Vigna. No dramas, because Angelina's skill's running. Courier has no skills, so Courier's probably going to go down, unfortunately. But again, not an issue. Cycle skills. This is the last group. So Shirayuki has done her job, so we can pull her out. And if you need to redeploy somebody else, somewhere else, just to catch a Wraith, then yeah, do so. It's all about juggling your high damage vanguards. That's what you've got to do. So obviously, because of her skill, Scavenger is a high damage vanguard, Vigna is a high damage vanguard, Plume can be kind of considered a high damage vanguard. So those are the ones you want to cycle and juggle as best you can, depending on the situation. But that's how you get through that one, guys. So I hope that helps. If it does, like, subscribe, leave a comment. It all helps out greatly. And also, please check out my Twitch. That aside, I'll see you guys tomorrow.